Hey guys, usually everything on this channel is for educational purposes only and is not intended as financial advice. So I've been trading the Williams Fractals lately. Wanted to talk about those again in another test trade video. I'm doing this on one broker. I'm not telling you you should use one broker or send funds to one broker. It allows me to trade stocks with Bitcoin, and it allows me to verify these trades. You can see I'm not just talking fried baloney here. I'm actually taking these trades. So 20%, that's the past 2 days. So what do I know about stocks? Basically nothing. I do know they open at 9:30 and they close at 4, which is not like crypto. So crypto's 24/7, obviously. I also know that the highest liquidity is typically at the open and the close of the market. So the stuff in the middle, I mean, there are people who just trade literally the first hour and then go home. I mean, that's just what they do. I also know, just based on how markets work, that there's usually high liquidity around large market moves. So when things go down or up quickly, everybody's paying attention, everybody's looking at it. There's a lot of news. I missed most of the down move on Twitter because who pays attention to stocks these days? But I was seeing it all over Twitter, Reuters and CNBC, and everybody was talking about it. So that's why I was even aware of, Facebook and all these other stocks that are social media stocks just tanking. So there's that. So the chart, it doesn't matter what it is, really. Like Peter Brandt said, you're just trading the candles. I don't really care what it is. I don't need to know anything about the company. I'm going to be in and out on these anyway. These are basically scalps, so it doesn't matter. Okay, getting the fractal part of it. If you haven't seen the last video, you should go watch it. I'll link it up. I'll link up the other Williams stuff so you can read up on it if you haven't heard about it before. But basically, you want to turn on the alligator and the fractal. Williams alligator is this one. Turn off the cloud here. Fractal is this one. So you want the price, you want to figure out where price is relative to the alligator. So the alligator is these 3 EMAs. Is price below or above? You don't ever want to really take trades when price is in the middle. You want to wait till, just like cloud, it gets above or below. Is the alligator trending? So is the alligator like winding inside of itself, or is it very clearly bullish, very clearly bearish? And then the last thing, do the fractal entries match the trend? So when the entries trigger, let's just get to that. So let's say I was paying attention up here. When we get a candle break of this level here, that's a short entry. And it's one short entry at an exact position size, and that size doesn't change the entire time you're in this trade. So we break this fractal, we go short, and we're holding. Here's another fractal. We break this fractal a second time in this trade. We go short again. Hold. You're still holding. Here's another fractal. Okay, now if it breaks this fractal, you're going short again, and you get a bull fractal print. So this is where you move your stop. Because what you don't want is the trade reversing on you. So it shouldn't be breaking bull fractals if you're in a short. This sounds a lot more complicated than it is, I promise. This is on the 5-minute as well, so this is a very low time frame. As you can see later, I was trading today on the 1-minute Twitter at open. So anyway, so there's that. And if you want to do this yourself, you can go to the replay thing and mess with that a little bit. So let's play a few candles. And you see as they print, let's just speed it up a little bit. Okay, so boom, we get a print. We're in a third short. All entries are the same position size, and you're holding. Same stop. And again, the alligator matches. Everything looks good. You're holding. It's really tanking at this point. You obviously don't know that it's going to tank, but you're hoping it's going to tank because you're short. And it just keeps going. And it went down, I think, 6% yesterday. Doesn't really matter what the chart is. The further it gets away from this red line, just like the Kijun on the cloud, that tells you that things are a little oversold. But nothing has changed as far as entries and exits for the trade. You're still in 3 total entries with this stop for all of them. And it's still going. No new fractals, you're just holding. And at this point, this is not even noon. So you can see the volume really picking up not what I was talking about, but the high liquidity was during the market move in this case. So here we get another fractal, and at this point it's your choice whether or not you enter a fourth position. Now you might want to look at high time frame support, which I'll show on the next chart. But if I'm this far into 3 trades, probably don't want to chance it. That's number one. Number two is you want to wait for a candle close below this fractal for the most part. Otherwise you tend to get burned on things like this where it wicks and then comes back. If we check high time frames really quick, let's just shut this off for a second. So you can see there was really kind of support at 31, kind of support at 29. All I'm just looking at is these wicks here. Just trying to figure out, should you have wanted to keep shorting here or not? Okay, so let's turn this thing back on. We're somewhere in here. So we're still watching this trade, right? Watching. These candles are happening pretty quick. They're in the 5-minute. I'll speed it up a little bit, and you'll get the print there. Okay, and then we decide whether or not I want to go, and likely you don't, because taking the trade before the candle closes is extremely risky anyway. In this case, it wouldn't have worked out immediately anyway, so it doesn't matter. You kind of get the candle print at the same time you get the fractal print, because the fractal will never print until the 2 candles away from it print. So if this reversed before this candle closed, it wouldn't have printed this fractal anyway. But the point is, you're basically out at this level 31.8, okay, if you were long from up here. So you're still short, or looking for shorts, because again, it's below the median. Alligator's clearly bearish here, and this bull fractal print is irrelevant because you're out of the trade, but this will be your stop loss should you enter another short again. And the fractals move up, so this time we're waiting, get a fractal print here, and okay, candle closes, we go short on this trade here, or this candle here, with a stop loss here. And then you can see we get massive down spike here, and this is the trade I took, so I saw this super late. So this was the candle, like I was saying, I took that short on with the stop here, and keeping in mind that we broke this support. There's some questionable support here, but really we're looking at 30-ish as a target. Just there's no like hard in the line sand targets with fractals or anything. You kind of have to use your other knowledge there. So that's happening, right? We're good. We're golden. We're on the 5-minute. We're dropping like a rock. We're short. We're in like Flynn. Great. This is my support/target zone. It's always good to draw it on the high time frame and then just leave it on there and go lower, so that way you know where on the road you are. So we get another fractal print, and the plan is to re-enter here if it breaks lower. I'm seeing this candle print, and I move my stop to this level, not because a fractal print may or may not occur here, just because if it breaks this wick, I'm just assuming, just based on other knowledge, that this is going to reverse. So that happens and the short gets stopped out. But I take 20%, whatever it was, 18% profit. There could have been a lot more had I, if I'm trying to hit doubles instead of home runs and saying I'm only going to take 35% on every trade and just close it, take 50%, whatever it is, pick a number, I don't care. You can easily do that. I didn't in this case. So at this point, I'm out of everything again, and I'm just watching, looking for shorts this whole time, as long as everything is below the median. So it closes, and the market closes 4:30, and it closes as a pseudo inverted head and shoulders. Okay, the neckline's diagonal, the volume profile doesn't match, but it looks plausible. Now I could have opened a long here before market closed and then held it until market open, which would have been the smart thing to do, just because it was already down 6%. I mean, the probability of it going down much, much lower, probably pretty small, and you can just keep your stop at the shoulder, the right shoulder there. So really the R&R on that, or risk reward, is pretty good. I didn't, which I will in the future. But you'll notice I'm not only just using alligator and fractal stuff, I'm using everything I know. So I'm saying there's a chart pattern here that's probably forming. It's messy, it's hard to measure, but there's also this other zone, this green zone that I'm highlighting, probably where we're going to go should have reversed because there was a pit stop there on the way down. That's just how things work. Support becomes resistance, resistance becomes support. Let's go back to this real quick. Let me just see all this. And you can see it gets back up into the median and then it goes above. So, if you're not out by the median, you're definitely out on the next couple of candles. And you made a great trade, you're feeling good. It reversed where it should have. Stuff makes sense. Up is up, down is down. And alligator goes flat, kind of goes inside of itself again. And like I was saying, I certainly had the opportunity to re-enter a short, but I'm waiting for this to be clearly trending down. And I know the market's ending soon, and I don't want to be in a trade when market closes. And like I said, I'm seeing this inverted head and shoulders form with some sort of divergence on higher time frames. So I don't opt to take the short there. And so then today, this morning, for the first time in forever, I set an alarm to get up for New York Open, trade with the big boys. And I see this at 9:30 and I'm thinking, should have been long, duh. And the other thing I'm thinking is, there's no way I can look at this on the 5-minute or 3-minute. I really need to be on the 1 minute and trading this. So this was the head and shoulders, right? And the target for that was loosely around 33.9, 32.7, something like that. That was the range, like measure move 1618. Again, using other knowledge. So 33.09 is really like the target that I should have stuck with. So we'll go to this replay thing again. We'll go here, and again, I'm on the 1 minute, which is crazy, but you can't really pay attention to time frames too much when you're scalping, in my opinion. You just sort of have to follow the speed of the market. Like a microscope, you're either zooming in or zooming out. I'm zooming way in. I'm on 400x magnification, trying to figure out every little fractal, what's going on here. So like I said, we had the close, we have the open. I'm like, what do? I have no experience with this open-close business. It's all foreign to me. So I just open a long, just purely based on the inverted head and shoulders. And then I opened another long here, I think 32.49, because we broke the fractal here. Yeah, let's just take a look what happens from there. So at this point, I don't really have any stops on anything, just because I'm not really sure what's going to happen. Stops are somewhere like below this gap, basically. So we get a bull fractal, I enter, we get another bull fractal, we're waiting for another entry here, and we get a bear fractal, putting the stop there. Another bull fractal, this is the entry. Should it break this? And again, it's staying above the median. The alligator is pretty much trending up, and you can see bear fractal, bull fractal, entry here, stops moved up, and then we get another break, I think. Yep, another break, another entry. And all stops for the 3 trades at this point are here. And one of these didn't actually show up as a shared trade on one broker because I forgot to tick the box, but I took 3 trades there. So I'm in 3 longs at this point. Stops here. I see this candle print and I'm pretty worried because that's a gravestone doji. Even before that, on this one here, that's a spinning top. So I'm a little concerned that momentum's kind of waning here. But I hold it, because that's the way it is, and then this prints, and I just close everything. Again, similar to the other long short trade I took. Anytime it breaks a long wick, I just close. This is probably a little too early because it didn't actually break the median, so that's clearly up to your discretion. Then I'm completely flat. Alligator is trending up, so I'd be looking for longs, but you can see where did it hit? 32.97, okay, so far. I entered another position here, I think, and it hits 33.11. So remember, 33.09 was what we were looking for. So the third-ish position was here, or didn't. I can't remember what I actually did. And then things basically just start to go flat, and in the median and breaking fractals. And at this point, I'm just done with everything. And it's 10:30, almost on the dot. Like I said, the first hour. So you're getting 60 candles here, basically. And that was the day. That was it. Everything else from there sort of went sideways. You can see alligator is trendless when everything's inside of itself like that. Sure, it's breaking fractals all the time, but it's basically range bound. And that's not what I want to trade. There's potential entry there, not so much there. But I think you guys get the idea at this point. Another entry there. So the other thing I was looking at was this flag on the 3 minutes? I guess not. Some sort of flag thing here, which is another reason why I was pretty confident that this is going to keep going north. So I don't really know how to measure chart patterns through gaps, but I'm just going to assume that we treat it as normal. So tomorrow, March 23rd, we may reach the 33.6 level, which is 33.6 isn't really anything per se. The thing about gaps, even in candles like this, it's going to tend to want to vacuum itself back up to just fill the gap. So we'll see what happens. I know this is kind of long, but if you want to verify any of the trades I took, you can look at the links. I will post them in the description. You can sort of see my thinking as it's happening. Again, some people like that. Like, dislike, comment, share, subscribe. Hit me up on Twitter, and happy trading.